Hello and welcome. I'm Lauren and I'm going to start with a short video. Every one of those dogs has a label: aggressive, reactive, too much. And every one of them is deeply loved. These are the words we hear when behaviour becomes visible to the outside world: aggressive, reactive, too much. And often those words don't come from the person who lives with the dog. They come from the public, from people who are seeing a moment without understanding the full picture. Because the person living with the dog usually sees something very different. They see the dog at home, the safe version, the softer version, the silly version, the dog that they know, the dog that they wish you knew. But they also feel the weight of it, because when behaviour becomes overwhelming, too much isn't really about the dog. It's about how hard it can feel to live with this. Because what we're seeing is behaviour, but behaviour is just the outward expression of how the dog is feeling internally. If love alone could heal, they really would live forever. But we know that's not the reality. Because these dogs are not lacking love. They're seeing vets, behaviour vets, physios, they're on pain relief, anxiety support, structured plans. Their guardians are getting up at 5 in the morning to avoid the world, driving to quiet places, hiring spaces, just so their dog can cope. They're doing the training just to achieve what looks like a normal walk for everyone else. And they're trying really, really hard. So when behaviour feels overwhelming, we naturally look for a reason. And one of the most common things we hear is, it's how you raise them. And it sounds logical, and it feels like it should explain it, but it doesn't explain everything. Because many of these dogs have never experienced a day without love. They have never been neglected. They haven't been treated unkindly. And yet, the behaviour is still there. So it doesn't always come from something obvious, something traumatic. And that's where we have to start looking deeper, because it places all of the responsibility on the person and creates a huge amount of guilt, when in reality, they're often doing everything that they can. Because behaviour isn't just something that's been taught, and it's not always something that we can just simply train away. You cannot train a dog out of a survival response. When a dog feels unsafe, their behaviour is about coping, not learning, not thinking, just coping. And if I'm honest, I often describe myself as an anxious border collie. I'm very aware, I'm quick to respond, sometimes a little overwhelmed, and probably very overwhelming to be around. And dogs can be exactly the same. So when we don't understand what's driving behaviour, we tend to ask, how do I stop my dog? And that's where we see things like correction, dominance, control, quick fixes, avoidance, promises. But if we ask a different question, why is my dog feeling this way? Because the question we ask determines the path we take. We start looking at completely different things: pain, welfare, fear, medical factors. Because if we only focus on stopping behaviour, we might suppress what we see, but we don't change what the dog is actually experiencing. And we're not in a positive way anyway. And that's where behaviour often escalates. Behaviour is what we see on the surface. The growling, lunging, barking, freezing, snapping, biting. But behaviour has roots. There's genetics, the environment, the early experiences, the chronic stress, the physical health, the diet. And some people ask, was it the breeder? Was it the trainer? Is it the food? And the honest answer is sometimes yes, but really just one thing. Because behaviour is influenced by multiple contributing factors, all coming together. We go to professionals expecting the right support, but sometimes it's not the right fit, or the full picture hasn't been seen yet. And this is where collaboration matters, because a dog can look fine and still be uncomfortable, just like we can function while still being in pain. And when something hurts, it changes how we cope. Behaviour is very rarely random, it's patterned and it's meaningful. And often we're trying to fix on the surface and often what we're trying to fix is on the surface and is being driven by something so much deeper. When we change the way we see dogs, we create kinder futures, more connected futures for everyone they share their lives with. Because understanding behaviour doesn't just change the dog, it changes the person living with them too. So is it how you raise them? Sure, it's part of that story. But it's so much more than that. If you'd like to learn more about this work, I do have a professional membership hub where I go deeper into behaviour and real case studies. Please scan the QR code and enjoy a 7-day trial. I thank you for being here. But one last thing. This is Buddy, and I'm dedicating this talk to him. He was a dog that was deeply loved by all of us. We just couldn't save him from his mind. But he changed the way I see behaviour forever. And he's the reason why this work matters so much to me.